Hi friends, and welcome to class. This is your cozy winter slow flow class, so it won't quite be the Vinyasa flow where we're working up a sweat, but it's also not the most gentle class. It's somewhere a little bit in between, especially in these winter months when it's feeling cold and dreary and you just want to get some movement in. This is a great class for that, so feel free to wear your cozy clothes, put on a sweater, even some fuzzy socks if you're really feeling it. We're gonna get cozy. So first, let's come into a comfortable seated position. We're gonna take a moment to really settle in our minds before we start to move. So hands on knees or thighs, close your eyes, sit up nice and tall, and just take a few natural breaths here. Letting go of the day as we come to our mat. No matter what happened earlier, your plans for later, we're going to set all of that aside and we're going to come here and be present with our mind, with our bodies. Letting the breath start to naturally slow, letting the heart rate slow. Taking a moment to really consider what you want to get out of this class. Maybe you're feeling stiff, you just want a little movement. Maybe you want a little calmness in the mind, whatever it is. Just setting your intention for the next 30-40 minutes. And breathing into that intention, holding it close to your heart. Take a few more deep breaths here as we settle in to our practice, not just a movement practice, a mind practice, a heart practice. And when you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes, coming back to the room, hopefully feeling a little more centered than when you first got here. Now that we've calmed the mind, let's go ahead and start to move. So coming into a tabletop, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. If your knees are feeling sensitive, you can always grab a blanket, place it under the knees. And we're gonna start with some cat and cow. So inhale to arch the back gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, draw chin towards chest. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck and round, pressing the back of the heart up towards the sky. And just moving back and forth with your breath, as fast or as slow as feels natural for you. Cultivating that breath to movement mentality here. Moving through the spine, especially if you've been sitting all day like me, feeling a little stiff from the workday. This is a great movement practice to start with. Let's go once more each way. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, tuck and round. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine here. And we're going to work on the hips. So stepping the right foot forward between the hands. You can have hands on the mat, hands on two blocks, or hands just stacked on that right knee. Thinking about lifting the upper body, shoulders nice and open. Take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. And an exhale to sink forward into the hips. Maybe getting that nice stretch through the front of that left hip flexor. With each exhale, sinking us a little bit lower. Tiny little movements here, doesn't have to be huge, especially at the beginning of class. You can keep your hands where they are, or option to reach the arms up towards the sky. Maybe gaze lifts towards the ceiling. Staying with the breath here. Take one more inhale, reaching up. Exhale to stay right here. Inhale to lower the hands either to the mat or to two blocks. We're going to come into half splits, so sending both hips back towards the back of the mat. Straighten that right leg and turn those right toes up towards the ceiling. Think about drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale to bow forward over that extended leg. Again, doesn't have to be a huge movement here. You can keep a tiny little micro bend in that extended right leg. We want to feel that hamstring stretch, but it can be kind of intense, especially this early. So taking your time. This is a slow flow. We're moving slow today. We're not in a hurry. With each exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. Take one more inhale here. Exhale to stay. Inhale, press up, lift the spine. Bend through the right knee. We're going to come through to that low lunge again. This time, breath to movement. We're going to move back and forth between those two. So inhale to reach up, low lunge, sink the hips forward. Exhale, lower the hands, send the hips back, and bow over the extended leg. Inhale, bend the knee, reach the arms, sink forward. Exhale, half split, straighten that right leg, and bow. One more each way. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, sink back, half splits. Nice. Lift the spine, bend the right knee once more, just to step it straight back. We're going to switch the legs. So step that left foot forward, coming into our initial lunge. So hands on the mat, on two blocks, or stacked on top of that left knee. Use whatever you've got. Keeping shoulders nice and open, torso lifted as you can. Inhale, draw the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale to slowly sink forward, feeling that stretch in the right hip flexor. Taking our time to slowly open. With each exhale, sinking the hips forward just a tiny little bit more. Maybe reaching those arms up if it feels good. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to stay right here. Inhale, lower the hands, frame that front foot, either on blocks or on the mat. Send the hips back, straighten through the left leg, point left toes up towards the ceiling. Drawing left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe a tiny micro bend in that extended leg. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow forward over the left leg. Letting go of the back of the neck here. Breathing through the stretch in that hamstring. One more breath on this side. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Inhale to lift the torso, bend into that left knee. We're going to go breath to movement on this side. So inhale to sink the hips forward, reach up with the hands. Exhale, draw the hips back, straighten the left leg, bow. Inhale, bend the knee, reach up, low lunge. Exhale, sink it back, half splits. One more each way. Inhale, sink forward, reach up. Exhale, draw it back and bow. Nice. Bend into the left knee just so we can step it back. Moving your blocks out of the way if you haven't already. Coming into a tabletop. Tucking both toes, send the hips up and back to our first downward facing dog of the day. So taking your time, pedal out through the feet. Maybe swing the hips left to right. Bend and extend the knees. Any little movements to help you feel more comfortable in your downward facing dog. From here, settle your movements. Coming into stillness. Coming back to the breath. Your intention for class today. Take an inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Lift up onto your tiptoes. And slowly, with as many steps as you need, just walking forward to meet in a standing forward fold at the top of your mat. Widen the feet out nice and wide, at least mat's width distance. And then just letting the torso drape forward. You can let the arms hang or grab opposite elbows. Swaying side to side. Feeling that decompression in the spine here. Letting go of the elbows, lower the hands to the mat. Heel toe the feet in about hips width distance. Inhale, hands on the shins, lengthen the spine forward. And then exhale to fold once again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Press the hands together overhead, gaze up towards the hands. And exhale, draw the hands through center, meeting in Tadasana mountain pose at the top of your mat. Very nice. Let's continue our flow with a nice and slow sun salutation. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms together. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. From here, nice and easy vinyasa, so lower knees, and then lower chest and chin. Keeping the hips nice and high here. Take an inhale. Exhale to slowly lower. Coming into our baby cobra. So planting the hands down, tops of the feet. Inhale, use those back body muscles to lift the upper body just slightly. Exhale, press into the hands to lift and send the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Forehead down on the mat. Reaching the arms forward. Taking a few calm, cleansing breaths here. On your next inhale, lifting back up to tabletop. And then tucking toes, sending hips up and back, downward facing duck. Beautiful. Creating a little bit of heat, but keeping it slow. From here, inhale, draw the right foot up and back. Exhale, draw knee to nose and step forward, setting up for warrior one. Inhale, reach the arms up, bending into that right knee, gazing forward, feeling strong and supported in the legs here as we reach, biceps by the ears, gazing slightly up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend both elbows, drawing shoulder blades together. Tiny little baby back bend here. Nothing crazy, just opening the shoulders, gazing up. Inhale to reach back up, warrior one. And exhale, open out, warrior two. Hips out towards the left, gazing over those front fingertips. Taking a moment here, recalibrate, find your footing. Take an inhale. On the exhale, we're coming into extended side angle. So reach forward, lower right forearm to thigh, and reach left arm up and over that left ear. Gazing up towards that left hand if you can. Thinking long line of energy from left fingertips to the outside edge of that left foot. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale to spin the chest open towards the right, towards the left, excuse me. Inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to spin the chest towards the mat. Lower the hands to frame the front foot. Coming up onto the ball of that left foot. Plant the left hand and open up towards the right for a little lunge twist. Inhale, reaching. How long can you make your wingspan? From one hand to the other. One more inhale here. On the exhale, lower the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Coming into lizard lunge pose, so the left knee can be lifted or lowered. Your choice, just depends on how much fire you want today. I'm going to keep mine lowered. So a couple options here. You can stay up on the hands. You can lower down to forearms for more intensity in that right hip stretch. Or you can take a couple blocks and find somewhere in between by putting forearms on blocks. Any of these options are perfect. So find one that works for you. Somewhere sustainable where you can stay and breathe for a few breaths. Always coming back to the breath to support us through these poses, these deep stretches. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Coming back up to the hands. Moving your props out of the way. From here, everyone tuck those left toes, lift the left knee. We're going to swivel the body towards the left, coming into Skandasana. Now you can stay up here if this feels most comfortable. or option to lower the hips towards that right heel. Now notice my right heel is lifted. It's not on the ground. It's perfectly okay. Totally depends on your ankle flexibility. You can have fingertips down for support. You can have hands at heart center. Find your most supportive version of this pose. And stay to breathe. You can add in a twist here by planting the right hand. Inhale to reach the left arm up and over, opening the chest up. One more breath on this side. Inhale. Exhale, lower left hand down. We're going to switch this to the left side. So lifting the hips up, we're going to crawl the hands towards the left foot, staying up here for more of a skater's pose, or lowering hips towards that left heel. Right toes up towards the ceiling. Fingertips down for support, or hands at heart center. Feel free to try something different on this side. You can add in a little openness by planting the left hand. Inhale to reach the right arm up and over. Lowering right hand down. And then we're going to crawl back towards the front of the room, coming into lunge, and then stepping back, downward facing dog, switching sides. So inhale, left foot up and back. Exhale, step forward. Warrior one, left foot forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink into the bend in that left leg. Gazing forward, feeling supported by the legs here. If you're feeling wobbly, just widen out the feet a little bit. A wider base is typically more stable. Inhale to reach the arms up. On the exhale, bend the elbows out wide, shoulder blades together, tiny baby back bend. Challenge the bend in that front knee. Inhale to reach back up, warrior one. Exhale, open out to the right, warrior two. Gazing over those front fingertips, resetting the feet as needed. Maybe a wider stance here. Take an inhale, warrior two. On the exhale, extended side angle, reach forward. Left forearm to thigh. Reaching right arm up and over that right ear. Gaze up towards the right hand. Inhale to lengthen through that right side. Exhale to spin the chest open. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lower hands to frame the front foot. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot. Plant the right hand and twist open towards the left. Nice open twist here. Inhale to reach that left arm up. Lengthen through your wingspan. And exhale, lower left hand on the inside of that left foot. Coming into lizard lunge. Right knee lifted or lowered, your choice. And let's find that version of lizard pose that works on this side. Staying up on the hands. Or option to lower down onto forearms, or finding a middle ground. using blocks for the forearms. Wherever you are is the perfect place to be. Meeting yourself where you're at today might be different than yesterday, might be different than tomorrow. That's perfectly okay. Taking one more breath here in lizard. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Inhale, lift up onto the hands, moving your blocks out of the way. We're going to come into our skandasana, so swivel, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and swivel towards the right. Feeling free to stay a little higher with the hips, or lowering hips down towards that left heel. Fingertips down for support. And sinking in to your skandasana. One more breath here. And then next inhale, pressing up with the hips, walking towards that right foot, lowering hips down towards the right heel. And same thing on this side. Finding somewhere that feels sustainable for just a few breaths. One more inhale on this side. And then slowly pressing the hips up, crawling forward towards a lunge, stepping back, downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to add in a half pigeon. So from downward facing dog, draw the right knee forward towards the right wrist. Lowering left leg down. The shin trying to get parallel with the front of the mat, but it doesn't have to be perfect. That right heel can draw towards the body as much as you need. From here, looking over that left shoulder at the left foot, making sure the top of the foot is down, and then turning back forward. And slowly lowering onto forearms. Maybe making a pillow with your hands. Forehead to the hands. I'm going to keep my forehead lifted just for my microphone's sake. But feeling free to settle in to this outer hip stretch. This can be a really intense stretch for a lot of people. So if you feel a little resistance, that's perfectly normal. But instead of backing out immediately, letting each exhale relax the hips down towards the earth. Just a little bit at a time. Letting go of that tension. Letting yourself be held by the earth. One more breath on this side. Take an inhale. Exhale. Exhale to stay. On your next inhale, slowly coming back up onto the forearms, up onto the palms. We're going to come out the same way we came in, so tucking those left toes, stepping back, downward facing dog, and we'll switch out the legs. So sending the shin forward, left ankle towards right wrist, left knee towards left wrist. Again, trying to get parallel the shin with the top of the mat, but drawing the heel towards the body as much as you need. Gazing over the right shoulder towards the back foot. Make sure the top of the foot is down on the mat. Turning back forward. And once again, slowly lowering down forearms, forehead, resting on the hands. Noticing if this side feels a little different. We always hear 2 hips, 2 different lives, so one hip might need something a little bit different than the other. We're just honoring whatever requests our body makes. Sending signals to that left hip to let go of the tension. Letting it relax with each exhale. One more breath on this side. Inhale. Exhale to stay. On your next inhale, lifting back up. Forearms onto palms. Tuck the right toes. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out the feet. And then lower the knees down to the mat. Cross the ankles and sit behind the ankles. Just coming to a seat, however you can get there. Stretch the legs out long in front of you. We're going to come into a seated forward fold. So sitting up nice and tall. Inhale to reach up, gathering length through both side bodies. Exhale to fold forward from the hips, reaching forward and then letting the spine naturally round. Grabbing onto ankles, thighs, or feet, whatever you can reach. Letting go of the back of the neck, bowing the head forward. And then with the inhale, slowly lifting back up to a seat. One more pose here. We're going to do some twists. So take the left foot, cross it over the extended right leg. You can keep that right leg extended or option to bend the right knee like so. Left hand behind you. And wrap the right arm around the left knee, twisting towards the left. Gazing over that left shoulder. Keeping the twist gentle here. Not trying to force the deepest twist we're possibly capable of. You know what you're capable of. and you know what your body needs right now. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale to twist through the soft organs of the belly. Take one more inhale here, and exhale to unwind. Coming out of that pose, stretching the legs long, we're going to switch sides. So stepping the right foot outside of the left knee. You can keep left leg extended or option to bend the left knee, foot towards the right hip. Right hand behind you, and then wrap the left arm around the right knee as we twist towards the right. Gaze over the right shoulder. Gently twisting with each exhale. First, we lengthen the spine to make space, and then we exhale to sink in. One more breath on this side. Inhale. And exhale, unwind. Extend the legs long. Shake them out. Beautiful. Let's come onto the back body. Setting up for our final resting pose of Shavasana. So grabbing any props that might make you feel more comfortable. A pillow under the head, a bolster under the knees if you've got one. If you're feeling a little cold, cover yourself in a blanket. Take your time to feel nice and cozy as we end our cozy winter flow with a Shavasana. Close your eyes. Let the feet flop out to the sides. No muscular engagement here. This pose is the culmination of our entire yoga practice. All of the poses we practice lead us towards Shavasana. Please feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. I'd recommend at least 5 minutes. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.